Gay. Gay. So gay.
Masters of the Universe was a bit of a letdown for me. I was expecting high fantasy sword and sorcery, and that isn't what I got. In my opinion, the problem with the film is one of tone. All of the key ingredients are there, but the film seemed to want to pay homage to the original cartoon more than it wanted to stand on its own. Full disclosure, I am coming at this as someone with fond but very distant memories of the 2002 Masters of the Universe cartoon remake, and subsequently as someone with high expectations for the movie. I went into this relatively blind, however, not having seen any promotional material or cast interviews beforehand, except for a single viewing of the trailer. Essentially, I was as close to a normie as possible for this movie, and I left thinking that was the gayest thing I've ever seen put to film. The film follows Prince Adam, who, as a child, is forced to flee Eternia with the Sword of Power after Skeletor attacks. He loses this on Earth and spends the next 15 years trying to find his way home. When he does finally return, Skeletor has taken over, and it's up to Adam to stop him. While on Earth, Adam works for an unnamed company's HR department, a perfect fit for the soft, gentle, and perhaps delicate boy that we saw in Eternia, who has now grown into a caring young man. Overall, I liked how Adam was portrayed in the film. He wasn't entirely emasculated. He was definitely more masculine than his notebook-watching roommate. Adam was a product of his environment, and with the name plaque on his desk, complete with he/him pronouns, he fit right in as a modern man. In my opinion, the film handles the subject of pronouns really well. It doesn't come down on either side of the ideology. No character introduces themselves with their pronouns, and no one asks for them, even when there are some minor characters who look like the sort of people to use them. In my opinion, the film handles the subject of pronouns really well. It doesn't come down on either side of the ideology. No character introduces themselves with their pronouns, and no one asks for them, even when there are some minor characters who look like the sort of people to use them.
No, because what do you mean by that?
The film carefully tiptoes its way through the potential minefield, and the end result is a film that acknowledges this as a reality of Adam's existence on modern-day Earth, but does not identify this as something Adam either encourages or discourages. I wanted epic battles with monstrous characters and creatures. I wanted to feel waves of pure liquid testosterone washing over me. But not in that way. The film was undeniably written with the original show in mind. Orko even popped up at an end credits scene to give her today's lesson speech, which didn't give me the hit of nostalgia that I'm sure the director had intended. I laughed more at this movie than I care to admit, and more than anything I can recall in a long time, and that made the experience more enjoyable than other recent cinema trips.
A big pipe, huh?
They say a hungry man thinks only of bread. But I can't be the only one that found this film to be beyond camp at times. Skeletor at one point references He-Man's long sword hanging from glistening thighs, a line which genuinely made me choke on my drink. That being said, I did enjoy the film. I enjoyed some of the fight scenes, even if some of the characters looked a little goofier than I would have liked, and I think the world itself was well presented, even if it looked a little cheap in places. I'm not sure if this was intentional or a budget constraint, but the armour and technology looked a lot closer to Rings of Power than to Lord of the Rings. The film is ultimately a battle of good versus evil, with Skeletor's motivation being to possess the power as a devil who wants to be a god, and Adam being the man who stands in his way. The final battle sees Adam attempt to talk Skeletor out of his evil ways, only to be rebutted by Skeletor reaffirming his commitment to being evil. Adam then uses the power to deliver a brutal beatdown on Skeletor, and I have to say that it's nice to get a genuinely evil villain on screen, especially one from an old franchise that hasn't been cooked by modern writers. All in all, I found the film to be far too camp, far too referential to the original cartoon, and just too childlike. Now, I'm sure the kids will enjoy it, but for me, it's wasted potential. I definitely wouldn't pay to see it again, though I might watch it again on streaming. It's a shame, as I do feel that this could have been something special with a few changes. Oh well, there's always the sequel. Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. That's a write-off.